Our lives aren't exactly planned out, but the main virtues that we came here to learn are So before we come to Earth or to any kind of incarnation system, we have an idea of how we want our soul to expand and grow. We get to experience and learn most of what we're gaining through self-love, self-compassion, forgiveness, love, just like in a beautiful and blissful way. And so that can look like having a healthy life because you constantly choose healthy habits, healthy food, and you don't stray too far from being healthy, from self-care, from self-nourishment, from self-love, from self-evolution and expansion. And this is naturally how we're designed to be, is to be walking in our highest and best version and always trying to better ourselves and expand ourselves in love. And then we stay aligned with our true path and purpose, and naturally it manifests a lot of good stuff in our life, and we get to gain these virtues through positive experiences. What can sometimes happen is if we are not actively choosing these things in our everyday life, if we are straying too far from the path or dabbling in unhealthy habits or addictions or junk food or whatever it is, if you aren't staying aligned with always trying to better yourself, you end up falling off the path and going down a road which is out of alignment. And when you start going out of alignment, you have the choice, you always have the choice to start choosing better for yourself again, and to start choosing, putting that conscious effort in to maintain being on your path and on track and on purpose. If you start straying too far off your purpose, out of your divine alignment, and you aren't checking in and you're starting to become unconscious about the decisions you're making, or you just don't care, when you choose to eat junk food, when you choose to drink the alcohol, when you choose to stay up all night and you're not really respecting or loving your vessel, which is your true home that you came here to incarnate into, you are then consciously choosing to abuse on some level your vessel, yourself, your mind, whatever it is. And so you're making choices to cause yourself harm. And what happens is, over time, as you keep choosing that path, you end up having a breakdown or an ego death or some kind of like a health crisis, where suddenly you've manifested an illness, or you're just suddenly unwell and you can't get out of bed or whatever it is. You manifest a rock bottom to kick you back into your alignment and back on path. Some people need to get to that real spot to give themselves the boost and the momentum and the discipline to get back on track, because they have to experience the pain of what it's felt like to be off track and out of alignment, because that's what it took for them. They needed to feel the pain, they needed to suffer, they needed to go through the hardships to snap them awake to go, no, I need to look after myself better. But you never needed to actually go there. Some people believe that you have to experience pain, suffering, sadness, depression, like lack of things, that you have to go through these lows in order to gain the highs, but you don't. You can gain the highs, you can gain the virtues through staying in alignment and always trying to strive to be your highest and best self, aligning with your true divine nature and staying divinely connected. And you get to experience and gain the virtues and wisdom mostly through positive experiences. Now, there are a lot of things that can contribute to or cause negative situations happening in your life. Sometimes people just come and go, and that was always the way it was. So we always experience loss and things like that to some degree in the human experience. But mostly you can choose whether you want to gain wisdom and learn through self-love and self-care and compassion and grace and mercy, or if you want to or believe you need to learn through suffering, through pain and through the lows. If you believe you need to experience the lows, then that is what you will continue to manifest as your path, because you are consciously or subconsciously choosing that, because you think that's the only path to get there, but it's not. There's the left hand path, the right hand path. There's many different paths in between. You can literally choose whichever route you want to take to get to the same destination. But when you often choose the path of suffering and resistance, it can cause more pain, more stress than if you had just chosen the path of staying consistent, discipline, and self-love, and always choosing to be your highest and best version. Often when people hit this rock bottom and have this health crisis, they will decide that from now on I'm going to start taking my health more seriously. But the concern is that you don't want it to get past a certain point, like a point of no return, where you're doing damage to yourself. If you're consciously choosing in the moment to stay aligned with your health, with your wellness, with self-love and self-care, even if the results haven't quite manifested just yet, you might think, what's the purpose in doing this? Because I'm fine, I am healthier, I'm not seeing anything manifest physically right now. Sometimes disease and illness, it can take years and years to manifest, and it can cause negative energy in your system, which can attract more negative situations or negative people, or just lack of abundance in certain areas of your life. The more you actively choose to walk in your highest alignment, the more that your life will start to unfold that and reflect that, and you get to live a life that is limited in the amount of suffering you have to experience. If you don't and you choose the other option, you're choosing suffering subconsciously or consciously. You are choosing to increase the amount you will suffer in this lifetime. And so it's like people often say it's a lot easier to stay on top of good health now than it is to try and reverse bad health later on. Another saying is that it's better to make time for health now than it is to have to make time for illness later on. Every time anyone's ill, all you're thinking is, God, I wish that I felt better already. I can't wait till I feel better. It's the baseline thing, your health, of everything else. Forget earning money, forget building family, or forget building your career, or forget having friends or socializing, or whatever it is you want in life. If you haven't got your health, if you haven't got your physical vessel, you're done. That's you gone. So your health and your physical vessel is the baseline to all else. So I built a Return to Eden journey. It's an 8-week program, a live group course, and it's going to be us literally choosing this path of alignment for the 8 weeks. It's got teaching calls in there. It's going to be looking at how to really do the healing work on all levels, physically, emotionally, mentally, how to connect up with your angels and guides. And we're going to have a Telegram group, and really the whole goal of this 8 weeks is going to be for you to get into real alignment, for you to learn and put into practice how you're taking these daily action choices, these steps every single day, to keep choosing self-love and self-compassion, so you don't have to learn through suffering and pain anymore. Granted, sometimes things still happen that can cause negative experiences and it wasn't your fault, but you can eliminate as much suffering as you can through trying to choose these conscious positive habits and choices in your life. So feel free to join the Return to Eden course. It starts on the 1st of May. I've also got a downloadable PDF 7-step life reset guide. It's free. You can download it through using the link in the description here. And I also am doing one-on-one sessions as well, so one-time sessions, which are kind of like deep healing sessions just as a one-off, but also personal packages for 3 months. If you really felt like you want to start choosing health, you want to start choosing self-love, you want to start choosing self-mastery, and you really want to come here and become the person you know you came here to be, then check out all of these offerings on the Great Light Garden website, and feel free to email me or type in the comments with any questions. I'm Ora Zikara, and I help spiritual women enlighten their worlds from the inside out. It's all about doing the inner work, and there's many different aspects to that you'll find out more about in the 7-step life reset guide. So thanks so much for watching. Have a God day, and I'll see you in the next video.